right, so this email came from Melissa, and just wanted to get your opinion, gauge on this. I remember a few years ago, you had a mom on talking about how she was getting her daughter a boob job for graduation. Didn't expect my daughter to come up with the gift idea that she did for her grad gift, but I want to make it happen. She wants gastric bypass right before school starts in the fall. This way she can heal and get ready for college. She even said that she would pay for half. My husband made the comment that she just needs to watch what she eats and work out. I feel for her. I want her to start this next chapter of life on the right foot. 1, we don't know her eating habits. 2, we don't know how much she weighs. So I can't really say or have an expert weigh in if they don't know how much. Do you have to be a certain weight?
I don't know how doctors assess this.
Okay.
I think they have to. I mean, there's got to be a certain criteria that makes the bypass larger than the risk of the health complications that come with being unhealthy.
And I know that you have to be prepared. If you're going to morph your body in some way with a medical procedure, you have to know that there are going to be setbacks. We have a coworker that went through this, and he had several setbacks, and it was very painful.
Dr. Now always sets people up with therapists. Hello, Stevie. How are you?
I'm good. How about yourself?
Great. Thank you for asking. Thoughts on this? Could you go ahead and get your son or your daughter gastric bypass as a graduation gift?
Well, I guess it would depend on the situation. Like me personally, I've always struggled with weight. I've always been on the bigger side. And yeah, high school sucks. You get made fun of for it, but you deal. It's part of high school. They're going to find something about you to make fun of. They always do. Nobody's perfect, and there's always going to be some little flaw.
Yeah.
And if people are going to be mean, they'll be mean. But I feel like I would push for them to try and make better decisions for themselves and do the whole, like, food therapist and all of that kinds of stuff still, and just try and really work on it over the summer before we make any life-altering decisions like surgery.
I just feel this is so young to make these kind of decisions.
It is really young.
Right.
But that could work in her favor, too.
It could, yes. And I guess it would depend on if she had any other medical conditions that could attribute to the weight gain as well. Like, I personally suffer with something that's called IIH. It's idiopathic intracranial hypertension is what it is.
Okay.
So essentially my body reacts as if I have a brain tumor, but I don't.
Wow.
So, yeah. And it can be quite debilitating. And, yeah, it's a really rare disease, actually. It's about 1 in 100,000 people suffer from it, but it's really common among women of childbearing age. But what it causes is, like, I can't deal with an elevated heart rate, or my blood pressure goes up. And if my blood pressure goes up, it creates more of an intracranial pressure for me to the point where I'm so debilitated I can't function for the rest of the day.
Yeah.
So I've been actually given this as an option to help with weight loss in hopes that it might help some of my symptoms.
Yeah.
But I don't personally want to go that far. I'm trying everything else before I try a surgery like that.
Sure.
But if that was something that somebody else was dealing with and that was their only way to help them, then I would say go for it. But again, it would depend on, like, does she have any other health conditions? Is their whole family bigger? Is that just something that is in their genetics, and this might be the only way to combat that for her?
Like I had said, there are a lot of factors that I think weren't included in that email. Like, we don't know the size. We don't know lifestyle and stuff like that. We just know that she wants to be thinner than she is right now, and maybe taking this route is best.
Stevie, thank you. Hang in there. We appreciate your thoughts this morning. I got time for maybe 1 or 2 more calls. Hi, Miranda. How are you?
I'm good, thanks. How are you?
Great, thank you. First thoughts on this. Would you be willing to purchase gastric bypass for your son or daughter as a graduation gift?
I would be willing, but at this point, there's too many things that are unanswered, as Kat said. I think the biggest thing that a lot of people forget, as somebody who's bigger and has been bigger literally my entire life that I can remember, at 18, you hear gastric bypass, you see the success stories, and you think, boom, instant success. I don't have to work hard. It's going to be easy.
Yeah.
I think a lot of people forget to do the research on, side effects that you don't think about. I mean, when you do gastric bypass, they basically remove a vast majority of your stomach. You can't absorb nutrients. You lose your hair. Would you rather lose your hair your freshman year of college or be overweight? Those are things that at 18 you don't think about.
Yeah, for sure.
And you also want to set your child up for success. If you, at 18, again, a lot of 18-year-olds are very mature. Most aren't. I'm 35 and barely mature enough to make this decision.
Yeah.
But, you take the easy road, you are forced not to eat, and then eventually you stretch stuff back out and you gain all the weight back. There is a lot of people who, gain all the weight back after they stop. You have to make sure that you set your child up for a better relationship with food, a better relationship with their body.
This is a lifelong situation. You're always going to need food. You just have to know
exactly
and fight with your brain every single day. What is going to be the best choice? Turning into Wendy's or going to get a salad at Quick Trip? What is the best route to go?
Yeah, good call. Hey, thank you for all the thoughts, Miranda. I really appreciate it. Try not to play everybody off, but I want to get as many opinions on the air as I can. I got time for one more call here real quick. Jason, thoughts on this, bud?
I say go for it, but take this into a teaching situation. She's at that age where she realizes if she wants to accomplish a goal, and I know part of that is establishing a really healthy lifestyle, establishing a workout routine, and put the carrot out there where, hey, you lose 5 to 10 pounds on your own naturally by making adjustments, then we're going to take the next step, and then we're going to be there to support you as you take these, things to improve your self-confidence and your outward appearance.
So you're saying as long as the mindset is right and you're willing to put in the work, you'd be willing to pay for this if it was your son or daughter for graduation?
Yeah, definitely, 100%. But they have to prove to me that they're going to follow through and do the work.
I don't think that's too much to ask.
They're not going to step up and do things to make themselves better from the get-go. We know the surgery will fail every time.
Yeah,
so
good call, man. Thank you.
I think about the procedure, and if it were like, I don't think they would do it for 50 pounds. I mean, 50 pounds is,
I don't know.
I think that risk is not worth the reward if it's 50 pounds.
Different for everybody, and there's probably not just a weight number. It was, and thanks, Jason. I appreciate it. If I didn't get to your call, guys, text us. I want to read through these. We're going to send them all back to Melissa and just kind of make sure she gets your guys' thoughts. My biggest concern when I heard this is if you go away to school, like it's different if you're living at home and just going to classes, right?
Yeah.
But you go away to school, that environment is so different. Like if you're on the meal plan, you can go to about 4 or 5 different places on campus and eat as much as you want sometimes, right? Yeah. And there's you get hungry in your dorm room, so what kind of snacks there's all sorts of things that would make me say no. Maybe sophomore year.
Yeah.
Maybe get through your frosh year, and then you're like, yep, I think this is going to be okay. I think over the summer, I've got this college thing dialed in a little bit. But when you go away to college, everything is so different. I would hate for that to be something that you got all these other little different things that could trigger, bad habits coming back or something like that.
There are a lot of what ifs. And like I said, I wish she had included a few more details, but I think as a parent, it's my job to make sure that my child feels as good as they can possibly feel. And if I have access to the funds to do it, like if your kid has acne and you're sending your kid to school every single day with acne and you're not doing a thing about it, you're not getting them on medication or going to see professionals, shame on you. Like I feel like that is my number one job, to make sure that my kid feels and looks his best every single day. So that's where my thought is coming from. I just want my child to feel their best.
If we didn't get to you, like I said, text or call or text or hit us with a DM or something like that. I'd love to be able to pass all these along. Thank you. All right, let's get to paparazzi. Next round of gossip. Good stuff. Like?
Well, more just crazy news from Sharon Stone and this podcast about how she had her child taken away because she did the movie Basic Instinct. And guess where she ended up? Very close to us. That's coming up with Radio Paparazzi next.